Hello and welcome to PSY 7103 assignment 4. Here we're asked for this week's assignment, begin by copying and pasting and so forth. But first I want to tell you about this assignment. The main goals of this assignment are to do these things. First, let's start with effort, reflection, and insight. The goal is for you to get better at what you're doing in terms of research, acumen, skill, and effort, for that matter. To learn as you go. You're not expected to know everything at the beginning of the course, but you are expected to improve and to use the resources to help you. I'm adding this resource, this video, to try to help you further. You're supposed to implement feedback, to show effort, to be reflective, to be insightful about what you need to learn, what you haven't learned, what you need to be more careful about. Implement the feedback that I've given you in terms of comments on especially last week's assignment, week 3 assignment. Ask questions. You can even ask in the assignment, here's some questions I have. Or you can set up a meeting for anything that you're really not getting. Think about if you need an appointment or 3 or 2 or 5 with the Academic Success Center. You're paying for this, might as well use it. Do you need to contact the library to get help with finding articles? If you do, getting some help from the librarians can be very useful. Are you developing an idea you might use in the future, such as in your own dissertation? By doing something that is useful for the future, you're going to connect it, and it's going to have more value now instead of just one assignment that you'll get a grade and then you'll forget. Instead, you could be developing sort of the foundation of a future assignment or manuscript, such as the dissertation, and thus you'll find more meaning in each assignment that you're doing. So think about these things. Now, for this week's assignment, you're going to begin by copying and pasting the introduction and problem statement from your week 3 assignment into a Word document. It does need to be a Word document. I think that's per university rules for this week's assignment. Copy and paste the intro. Just copy and paste it. You did it in week 3, but here's what I want you to do. I want you to grab the one that I provided feedback on, not the one that you submitted. So the one that I provided feedback, I'll probably have some track changes in there, some things I told you to revise and to change. So use the ones that I provided as feedback for that assignment with comments and track changes, and keep those on. Here's how you do that. Notice I've added a comment here. The way you add a comment is like this, right? You click on this button. And then the way that you track changes is you click on this so that it is grayed out. Now, maybe you don't want to see all this stuff, and maybe you want to remove a word and it starts making lines like that because you deleted it, and it's showing me how you tried to improve your paper, the changes that you've made, or maybe you added something. Now, if that bothers you, seeing all this color start to pop up and lines everywhere, you can switch to simple markup, which is a lot easier on the eyes. It shows that something happened here, something was tracked here, and that there's a comment here. Or if that really still bothers you, you can switch to no markup. The important thing is that this is still grayed out so that you can type things like right? You can type that, and I'll see that you've added it. If I switch to this, it shows it in red as something you've added. Now, I don't suggest you do that. It might make me feel good, but I will wonder if you're just trying to be nice. So feel free to give me positive feedback, but uh, that was just silliness. Just silliness. Now, as we were discussing just now, you're going to have comments. You can refer to the comments. Use the review feature in Word. Track changes, any APA errors, or any other errors. Use the comment feature in Word. You might say, I think I got this corrected. Okay, and I'll be like, well, not quite. You need to spell the words correctly, or whatever. I might provide some comment, and I can just click reply, and you can also click reply, and it will show whatever your name is in your Word software. Comment on areas that you think you have successfully accomplished and those that you're not so sure of, or those that you're definitely not sure of. Where you think a sentence or paragraph can be improved, use track changes to improve the writing and make your edits. And here's what it looks like, and revisions, something like that, if you thought that would make the sentence better. So, check your references and make the necessary amendments. If you add citations, add those references to the references section at the bottom. Write a few sentences that outline what you think that you learned from this course, from this exercise, sorry. If you think you did not learn anything, it is fine to state that, but support your response with a rationale and an example. Explain yourself to me, please. This is a reflective task. So, you might say something like, I think I learned a little bit. Or you might say, I learned that I need to work on my writing mechanics. Or I learned what it means to have a justified problem. Or maybe writing in really big text. Maybe you'll have something different, like, I don't feel that I learned anything. The feedback wasn't clear or was overwhelming. In a case like that, that's a good time to note that you probably need to reach out. This is going to be 3 to 5 pages, not including the title and reference pages. So I would aim for 4 pages. A lot of people do the 3 pages in 1 sentence, or 3 pages in 2 sentences, and that just looks lazy. I'll just be honest. As a professor, I'm looking for somebody that doesn't, as they say in Office Space, do the bare minimum. I'm not looking for flair, but I am looking for you to put in, almost have to stop yourself and be concise and say only what's necessary, instead of being like, I can barely stretch this out to be 3 pages and an extra sentence just so I don't get marked off. For that, your assignment should demonstrate thoughtful consideration of the ideas and concepts presented in the course by providing new thoughts and insights related directly to your topic. Again, you're working on hopefully a topic that you can build upon, maybe can turn into a dissertation. Everything you do should be sort of supporting a future cause. Your response should reflect scholarly writing and current APA standards. You can use the editing tool that they've added to Word. If you have that, you can use Grammarly as well. Grammarly will not always, it won't check APA standards. You can also use a free software, currently free as of now. It's called Recite, R-E-C-I-T-E software. It's online. Be sure to adhere to the university's academic integrity policy. So don't just add in material that belongs to someone else unless you paraphrase it into your own words. and cite the source. So going back up, we're really looking for reflection and improvement, a growth mindset that you can improve. Again, you're not expected to know everything at the very beginning, but you are expected to improve so that you have a pretty comprehensive understanding of research methods by the end of this course. And if you don't do some reflection during that process of this course, which we made a whole assignment about reflection, if you don't take the time to do that, then you're going to miss out on the opportunity to really get good at what you're doing. You need to be conscientious and deliberate even in reflection in all the assignments, but even in this, we want to see that you are taking time to be thoughtful and to sort of reflect on what you're really missing. Well, I hadn't considered what my professor said in their feedback about this. I'm going to pay attention to that in the future. This is not an assignment that you can really do while you're watching television or distracted. So that's something to keep in mind. Be deliberate, be conscientious, and this is part of us as a university encouraging you to use those practices and principles of deliberate, conscientious, reflective behavior to improve your progress as you move on. Again, ask questions. If you don't get the answers you need in text form, try to set up an appointment. For me, that's sending me an email with 3 times Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday afternoon that work for you, with the time zone that works for you, and then I can tell you what works for me and we can go from there. I look forward to seeing you in assignment 5. Thank you.